Hello everyone, it's Grammy Antonia. This morning, I just want to express to y'all how each day, how very difficult it is for me to make these videos. When I first thought about making videos, I was dissatisfied with my life. And I was trying to find ways to get some enjoyment in my life. So I thought, I had got this phone, and I didn't have one before. I just had a little flip phone. So I got this phone and saw a few YouTube videos, and I saw a few that did slot machine play at casinos. And I thought, I can do that because I like to go to the casino every now and then and play the slots, and I could make some slot videos, and that might be fun. So that was my thought in the beginning. And the casinos here that the Cherokee tribe has, 2 of them, they don't allow filming. It took a while before I found that out, and then I did. And so, there wasn't a way that I could make slot machine videos. But things were happening in our country and that were upsetting me. And so I started talking about the things that bothered me. But the slot machine videos that I wanted to make were a way to, at first, for me to cope with my life. Because I already was upset about the way my life was going. And before I started making videos, I had a few years even before I got this phone, I was going to counseling and trying to express the way I felt about things. And, well, of course, they gave me some pills for anxiety and some pills to help me sleep better at night. And my counselor, of course, asked what kind of things I like to do, and I told her, but one of the things was to piddle around in the yard. And her suggestion was, when I got anxious or upset, to go out in the yard and do those things. So that's why my yard turned out the way it did, because I was always piddling around in the yard. Which kept me busy from the things that were causing me grief. And I know now that the grief I've been feeling before all this stuff that's going on in our country, and these things I realize now, the real grief I was feeling was from living here where I live. Because all this that's been going on with Trump and the MAGAs and all has truly opened my eyes to the fact that I'm living right in the middle of a cult. So I've tried really hard to express those feelings that I have on my videos, because as y'all know that follow me, my immediate family, such as my mother and my father and my sister, they're gone. And there isn't anybody else other than my daughters. And my daughters went to school right here in this town. And I didn't realize the problems we had to do a lot with the political views and the religious views that are here in this area. But with all the politics with Trump and the MAGAs, it became clearer and clearer to me. And with the presidential election of Joe Biden and the insurrection, and then the campaign of Kamala and Tim Walz, I was very busy in trying to get all my beliefs and opinions out there because I felt so strongly about it. And all the things that have happened since Trump has got back into office, I mean, there's just been so much time that's went by. And I've grown older and older. And like I say sometimes, I'm tired. I'm just very tired. I've told you that I get along with my younger daughter fairly well. But my older daughter, she doesn't have much of anything to do with me. And the old man, Jim, his family that used to live up here, since his sister died, they're all pretty much gone. We see them every now and then, or he does. I don't have much to do with them because during COVID, things got really bad right here in this little place we live in. And his sister had lots of medical problems. And of course, Jim, he has the COPD and emphysema and all. And the younger generation was just, it was just hard to even understand how everybody was just like crazy around here. And I've heard people say that COVID just broke a lot of people's minds, and I think it did. But anyway, what I'm trying to say about after I came up here to live with Jim and then we married, things just, we argued a lot because I just was naive to a lot of things. And that's why I was going to counseling and thinking about making these videos. I was trying to just take care of myself. But I hate what's going on in this country. The people I've always known and cared about here, I see now how they really think. And I've said it over and over. It's just so shameful. But there's nothing I can say or do because I've been, with my daughters and with people I know. They don't want to hear what I have to say. They treat me as if I'm just causing them problems or trying to be mean to them, which I wasn't. I was trying to have closer relationships with them and try to enjoy our lives. But like I say, I'm right in the middle of a cult. And they've got one way of thinking, and they're going to think that way. Well, I always tried to accept everybody's religious beliefs and political beliefs and go on about trying to do what kept me going. But what is going on in our country is just wrong. And I don't understand why they can't see that. Like the senator in California that was arrested, and that incident that happened at that Kristi Noem's presser was disgraceful. He was a senator, and he did not barge up to her disrespectfully. He walked in and was going to ask her a question. But, he's a Mexican senator of the United States, and they automatically rushed him, dragged him out of there, and him telling them, hey, I'm a senator of the United States. But they wouldn't have it. And Kristi Noem didn't pay a bit of attention to what was happening. She just acted like it wasn't happening. And they took him out of the room and put him to the ground and handcuffed him and took him and arrested him. And that was a federal building, and he has an office in the federal building. And he had been in his office and came out and saw that she was having a presser and went in there to ask some questions, as citizens have a right to, and a senator of the United States should be shown some respect. Now, they might have not known he was a senator at the onset, but he told them immediately when they grabbed him, I'm a senator. It made no difference. I could go up to probably anybody in this county and ask them straight up, or say to them straight up, are you a racist? And they would say, oh no. But you have to not be speaking out about what is happening. Now, that's just an example of a lot of things that I could ask people around here, and they would say, oh no. I mean, we can. No. I, anyway, I just want y'all to know, Tangled Up in Blue Tribe and anybody else that's listening, that Donald Trump, in my opinion, as governor of California, Gavin Newsom, not Newscum, like the president of the United States calls the governor of California Newscum. It's Governor Newsom. And he is standing up to Donald Trump because Gavin Newsom said that Trump, that Trump is a stone cold liar. And he is. Now, that's what I see all around me, are liars. And a lot of people don't want to be around me because they don't feel like they're lying when they're with people that agree with them. But if they're around me and I disagree with them, then they have to lie. Maybe I'm talking about my daughters. So they don't want to lie. I don't know who I'm talking about. But I do know what's going on's wrong. And if they can't see that and they want to make up all this stuff about everything, then they're lying. What other conclusion can we come to? Anyway, these videos get harder and harder for me to do. And I plan on making my sign tonight and going to the courthouse tomorrow, and I'll put out a little video then. But I just want you to know that I can't stand Donald Trump. And I can't stand the way people think about other people. I mean, to me, it's sinful, disgraceful, shameful, evil. And I live right in the middle of all this, in this area. The cult part. I'm right here in the middle. And he's lied to all them. That's why I say it's a cult, because go back and study cults. The leader always lies to the followers. Just lies to them. Love you all. Grammy Antonia. Bye.